Every time you think we're headed to the moon, the market pulls the rug. Massive liquidations, sudden crashes, perfectly timed news. Doesn't it all feel a little too coordinated? You're not imagining things. From insider trading scandals to meme coin rug pulls and even billion-dollar banking conspiracies, market manipulation isn't a theory. It's the foundation of the financial system. And if you're not careful, you are the liquidity. Welcome to the Chainpoint channel. In this video, we're exposing the dirty tricks used by whales and institutions to control the crypto market. We'll break down how pump and dump schemes, algorithmic manipulation, and DEX scams are draining retail traders dry. And by the end, you'll know exactly what to watch out for so you don't become the next victim. Let's get into it. But before we continue our talk, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay tuned to what is happening in the crypto world. Let's get started. Financial markets have always been a playground for the powerful, and crypto is no exception. While some still believe in the purity of supply and demand, history tells a different story. Market manipulation isn't a rare event. It's the default setting. Even in the most tightly regulated financial sectors, we've seen rampant fraud and collusion. If the traditional stock market, with its watchdogs and legal frameworks, is still riddled with manipulation, what do you think is happening in crypto, where regulation is practically non-existent? Crypto's decentralized nature was supposed to be its shield against manipulation, but in reality, it has become a paradise for it. With no strict regulations, no circuit breakers, and no government bailouts, it's the perfect battlefield for whales and insiders to control price action. From artificial trading volume to coordinated sell-offs, manipulation tactics run wild. The lack of clear laws and the anonymity provided by blockchain technology only make it easier for bad actors to operate in plain sight. And while some traders believe they can outsmart the system, most are simply playing right into the hands of those controlling the market. So, is crypto a scam? Not necessarily, but it's definitely a rigged game, and the sooner traders realize that, the better equipped they'll be to survive it. Whether it's through leverage liquidation traps, flash crashes, or sudden bull runs that turn into brutal dumps, market manipulation isn't just an occasional occurrence, it's the lifeblood of the financial system. And for retail investors, understanding how these schemes work is the first step toward avoiding becoming just another victim in the cycle. If you think market manipulation is just a crypto thing, think again. Some of the biggest financial scandals in history involve traditional banks, institutions that are supposed to be the pillars of financial stability. Between 2007 and 2013, a group of elite banks, including Barclays, JP Morgan, and Citi, secretly colluded to manipulate the foreign exchange market. For 6 years, they operated in private chat rooms, exchanging sensitive trading data to ensure their profits, while ordinary traders were left in the dark. The result? A $1 billion fine, but considering the trillions they move, that's just pocket change. The mechanics of this scandal were simple but effective. Traders from these banks would share inside information about upcoming orders, allowing them to adjust their positions before the market reacted. This meant they could artificially influence prices, front-run transactions, and execute trades with near no risk. Imagine playing poker, but knowing everyone's cards in advance. That's essentially what they were doing. And the scary part? They got away with it for years. If this level of manipulation was happening in traditional finance, where regulators are constantly watching, what does that say about crypto, where oversight is almost non-existent? The FX scandal serves as a brutal reminder that financial institutions don't always play fair. While the public is told that markets operate on supply and demand, the reality is that those with the most money and connections often rewrite the rules in their favor. And while these banks eventually faced fines, nobody went to jail. There were no criminal charges, no real accountability, just a financial slap on the wrist that barely dented their bottom line. If that's how mainstream finance operates, it's naive to think crypto is any cleaner. Crypto was supposed to be the antidote to this corruption, a decentralized alternative free from the manipulation of powerful institutions, but in many ways it has become a mirror image of traditional finance, except with fewer safety nets and faster moving scams. And with billions flowing into crypto from hedge funds, exchanges, and venture capital firms, it's clear that the same bad actors who rigged traditional markets are now playing the crypto game. Crypto was supposed to be a revolution, a financial system free from the control of banks and governments. Instead, it became the perfect playground for manipulation. Unlike traditional markets where regulators at least try to keep fraud in check, crypto exists in a legal gray area. In the US, for example, there's still no comprehensive framework for crypto regulation. The SEC has been clumsy and inconsistent, cracking down on legitimate projects while letting outright scams run wild. This lack of oversight makes crypto the ideal hunting ground for those looking to exploit retail investors. Without strong regulations, crypto is a paradise for bad actors. Fake trading volumes, insider token sales, and market rigging strategies thrive because there's little risk of punishment. Take decentralized exchanges, DEX, for example. Anyone can list a token and manipulate its price without worrying about regulators stepping in. Smart contracts make it easy to create artificial hype, pump up prices, and then dump tokens on unsuspecting buyers. In a space where anonymity is the norm, tracking down perpetrators is nearly impossible. And it's not just small-time scammers taking advantage of the situation. Major institutional players, including hedge funds and large exchanges, have every incentive to manipulate the market. They can execute massive trades to trigger stop losses, liquidate leverage positions, and push prices in directions that benefit them. In traditional finance, such behavior would be considered illegal market manipulation. In crypto, it's just another day at the office. The reality is, without clear rules and enforcement, manipulation isn't just possible, it's inevitable. While some traders like to believe they can outsmart the system, the game is fundamentally rigged in favor of those with the most money, data, and influence. For now, the crypto market remains the Wild West, where anything goes and only the smartest or the most ruthless survive. The phrase pump and dump might sound like some shady back alley scheme, but in crypto, it's practically an industry standard. The concept is simple. Insiders artificially inflate the price of a token using hype, fake volume, and coordinated buying, then dump their holdings on unsuspecting investors at the peak. The result? Retail traders are left holding worthless bags while the orchestrators walk away with millions. And the worst part? This cycle repeats itself over and over. One of the most common tricks is wash trading, where bots create the illusion of massive demand by repeatedly buying and selling a token among themselves. This fake activity makes it look like a project is gaining traction, luring in real investors who think they're getting in early. Once enough money flows in, the insiders execute the dump, crashing the price and wiping out those who fell for the hype. This isn't a fringe tactic. It happens everywhere, from shady altcoins to high-profile token launches. Social media is the gasoline that fuels these scams. Influencers, often paid behind the scenes, promote these projects with exaggerated claims of 100x gains, knowing full well that the insiders have already positioned themselves for the sell-off. Telegram and Discord groups coordinate pumps, luring in more victims before the inevitable collapse. Even centralized exchanges contribute by listing questionable projects, adding credibility to what is essentially an exit scam in the making. The sad reality is that most pump and dump schemes aren't illegal in crypto, at least not yet. Without regulations, the market remains a free-for-all where manipulation is the rule, not the exception. The best defense? Assume every token you're looking at is a potential scam until proven otherwise. Meme coins are fun, right? They start as jokes, rally communities, and sometimes even make millionaires overnight. But behind the hype, many meme coins are just well-disguised scams designed to drain retail investors of their money. And in 2024 and 2025, we saw some of the worst examples yet, where high-profile meme coin launches turned into massive wealth transfers from regular traders to well-connected insiders. Take the Trump coin, for example. Just 2 days before Donald Trump's inauguration, a new meme coin bearing his name launched with massive hype. But what most investors didn't know was that a single sniper trader had already rigged the game. By bribing insiders with $84,000 and spending $600,000 to buy up nearly the entire supply before anyone else, they ensured that when regular investors jumped in, they were buying from them at a massive markup. The end result? The trader walked away with an $18 million profit while retail traders watched their investments evaporate. And then there was the Libra debacle, a textbook rug pull on an even bigger scale. This token, allegedly promoted by Argentina's president Javier Milei through his sister, claimed to be an investment in Argentina's economy. Investors poured in millions, believing they were backing a revolutionary project. But behind the scenes, the token's own developers sniped their own launch, then rugged the project just 50 minutes later, pocketing $100 million in the process. To make matters worse, the same scammers were reportedly linked to the infamous Melania Trump rug pull months earlier. These scams reveal a brutal truth. Meme coins aren't just risky, they're often outright manipulated. Insiders control the supply, influencers push the narrative, and by the time the general public catches on, it's too late. If history has taught us anything, it's that these schemes will keep happening, and only those who recognize the warning signs early can avoid becoming the next victims. If you think market manipulation is limited to small-cap cryptos and meme coins, think again. There's growing speculation that even the biggest cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and XRP, are subject to coordinated manipulation by institutional players. These aren't just random pumps and dumps. They're calculated moves designed to trap retail traders, liquidate leverage positions, and redistribute wealth to those who already have the most. One of the most widely accepted theories is that whales, major holders of crypto, use their massive positions to move prices at will. By executing large buy or sell orders at key price levels, they can trigger chain reactions, forcing traders to either FOMO in or panic sell. This isn't conspiracy theory, it's simple liquidity hunting. Whales know where stop losses and liquidation points are clustered, and they push the market in those directions to profit off retail traders' mistakes. Algorithmic trading has taken this game to another level. High-frequency trading bots, operated by institutional players, react to market trends faster than any human can. These bots manipulate price action, creating artificial breakouts and breakdowns that lure traders into bad positions. Many suspect that even major news events are timed to coincide with market tops and bottoms, ensuring maximum liquidation and profit for insiders. When bullish news drops, the market spikes just enough to trap over-leveraged longs before reversing violently. Sound familiar? While some might dismiss this as paranoia, the reality is that manipulation exists at every level of finance. The only difference is that in crypto, it's more blatant. With little regulation and a market still in its infancy, the biggest players can continue to dictate price movements with near total impunity. The key takeaway? If you're trading crypto, assume that the market is designed to shake you out. Crypto trading often feels like a battlefield, and that's because it is. On one side, you have retail traders, individuals trying to navigate the market based on charts, news, and gut feelings. On the other, you have smart money, institutions, whales, and market makers who have access to vast amounts of data, cutting-edge algorithms, and most importantly, a deep understanding of how retail traders think. Guess which side usually wins? Smart money operates on a different level. They don't chase pumps or fall for emotional trading traps. Instead, they manipulate liquidity by strategically placing orders where they know retail traders will react. Ever wonder why prices always seem to wick just enough to hit your stop loss before reversing in the direction you originally predicted? That's not bad luck, it's by design. These players engineer price movements to liquidate as many traders as possible before taking the market where they actually want it to go. One of their favorite tactics is stop hunting. Whales can see where most traders have set their stop losses, usually around obvious support and resistance levels. By executing large trades at those levels, they trigger cascades of liquidations, wiping out retail positions before reversing the price in their favor. The result? Smart money accumulates at the best possible price, while retail traders are left wondering why they always seem to get shaken out at the worst moment. So, how do you survive in a market designed to take your money? The first step is recognizing that manipulation is everywhere. The second is adjusting your strategy, avoiding over-leveraging, thinking like a whale, and refusing to trade emotionally. At what point does market manipulation stop being a conspiracy theory and start being an accepted reality? For some, the idea that institutions, whales, and exchanges are constantly rigging the market sounds far-fetched. After all, isn't crypto supposed to be driven by supply and demand? But for those who have spent enough time trading, the patterns are too obvious to ignore. Whether it's insider trading, coordinated liquidations, or news perfectly timed to trigger market moves, manipulation isn't an exception, it's the rule. Skeptics argue that crypto's extreme volatility is simply the result of an immature market where emotions drive price action more than fundamentals. But even if that's partially true, it doesn't explain the recurring cycles of engineered pumps and dumps where retail traders always seem to be on the losing end. The biggest players in the market don't rely on luck. They create opportunities by controlling liquidity and forcing traders into predictable emotional reactions. The data shows it, the charts confirm it, and history repeats itself over and over. So is the crypto market manipulated? Absolutely, but that doesn't mean you have to be a victim. Now that you know the tactics, pump and dumps, insider trading, wash trading, and liquidity hunts, you can trade smarter. The key is recognizing the patterns, staying skeptical, and never letting FOMO or fear control your decisions. At the end of the day, whether it's banks rigging forex markets or whales controlling crypto prices, the game is the same. Take money from the uninformed and give it to the insiders. Your job? Stop being the liquidity, stop chasing hype, and most importantly, start thinking like the smart money. Let me know in the comments, do you think crypto is more manipulated than traditional finance, or is this just how all markets work? And if you got value from this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more crypto insights, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I see you in the next video.